Alright guys, welcome back. So, just a quick one, just talking about the transition between Classic and TBC and some things that you might not have thought about. I've certainly been doing a lot of thinking about them recently. Before we just get into that, if you don't watch my stream of a night, it's pretty much every night. Follow me over on Twitch, ScottyJ87. I'll put it in the description as well, and obviously on screen at the same time. So, just want to, some of this is obvious. I don't want to try and pull the wool over your eyes and make it sound like I'm reinventing the wheel or something, because, some of it is obvious, but just want to really talk about how you can get prepared for TBC. We don't know how the servers are going to roll out yet, obviously. We do know that it's coming. I mean, that's sort of inevitable. So I've been spending the last couple of weeks just getting prepared. That's it. Starting to really think about what, a bit of a plan. Like, what do I want to do? What do I want to achieve before TBC comes out? So just some little bits I've been thinking about. So there's obviously some easy ones, like, you're going to want to get some gear because it's going to make the questing easier. But things you might not have thought about with gear is your actual gear optimization for leveling. So, all the melee, by the end of Nax, you'll be 9% hit, but you might be using, items that are not necessarily that good for leveling. So it might be worth starting to have a look at some items that you can, potentially, lose your hit rate. And all right, you want a few percent, but you don't need much, because you're going to be killing stuff the same level as you, pretty much, but the majority of the time, maybe up to 2 levels higher, but that's it. So casters as well, obviously, you'll be sat at 16% or just over 16% hit. You're going to be able to drop some of that. So, again, that could be something you haven't thought about. The fact that you might want to start looking at these pieces that you wouldn't take, at the moment, because it's going to take you, under the hit cap, but that's not going to be as important in TBC. And you probably sat there thinking, well, what difference is it going to make? Do you know what I mean? A 50 more spell power, or, a couple of percent over the hit chance that you need for the mob. Not much. It's not going to make that much difference, but it's still a difference. If you can speed it up in any way, why wouldn't you? I think that's what I'm getting at. Then I suppose the next point, the next big point, is professions. So what professions have you got at the moment? Probably engineering. Majority of people are running with engineering. All right, the people have got other professions, but engineering is just, that good in Classic. Still good in TBC. What professions do you want in TBC, though? Because there's going to be this shift from everyone being engineering to them being level working. Possibly still engineering, because engineering is still very good in TBC, as I've said. But, you'll probably be engineering level working. But to get yourself in that place, do you start needing to put the prep work in now? Do you want to get... If you've got mining engineering on Classic at the moment, are you going to drop mining and get, your level working via using an alt for skinning or whatever, whatever way around you're going to do it? But maybe you don't want level working. Maybe, you've got your heart set on going herb alchemy. Do you need to change that? But you need to have a look, because if you're a caster, for example, odds are a few of your, absolute bis for tier 4 at least gear is going to come from your profession. Now, do you want to set yourself up for the future and, on Classic, get a few maxed tailors ready so you can then just start pumping out Mooncloth, obviously once you've got to the appropriate level of tailoring in TBC on it. So, there is a lot of things to think about. And the same goes for making gold. The people who are going to be really making good amounts of gold, sort of from herbalism, mining, stuff like that, they're going to be druids. So a good way of doing that is getting a druid up now. Getting a druid to level 60 just slowly in the background, because then, have it as mining and herbing. And then all you've got to do in TBC is get it to 68. You're going to get flight form. All right, it's not epic flight. You might want to be a super efficient farmer and obviously get it to 70 and get epic flight. But that is, 5,000 gold. I personally would just be happy with just the 60% flight speed and away you go sort of thing. When it comes to items, there are some exceptional items, and I don't want to do one of those sort of videos, where it's top 5 items from Classic that are still viable in TBC, because they've been done, they're out there, that's fine, you can go and see these things. But I'll give you a comparison at least. Like the mage trinket from Blackwing Lair, when you compare that to your sort of pre-raid bis, and to be fair, probably up to tier 5 bis trinket, which is Quagmoran's Eye. I mean, the haste effect is pretty much the same. You're right, you're losing some spell damage, and obviously the Quagmoran's Eye, potentially can be up more in a fight, but it is very luck based. Whereas the other, your mage trinket from Blackwing Lair, you can time with weird other cooldowns. But you can see the actual power of some of these items. And as I say, I'm not going to go into any more than that. You'll have to have a look. You'll see what items are going to be decent. Just go on like TBC DB or something like that and just check them out. So I suppose the other question really is your main at the moment. moment in Classic, is that what you want for TBC? You know, you might, if you've not played on private servers, or you didn't play in TBC at all, or you've just forgot, you know, your class that you're playing, you might not actually enjoy in TBC. So you might be like preparing another class now. Let's say you was going Hunter because they're ridiculously overpowered. Maybe, you know, you want to take the next few months to level your Hunter. Maybe switch it to that to be raiding in the rest of Classic to get some gear. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to get it to 60, get its profession sorted, and then just bench it. You know, just park it there until TBC comes out, and then you make the switch. So, you know, there's lots of ways. Yeah, lots of things you can do, but I think it's worth thinking about now. And I can't sit here and tell you everything that you need to think about, but, you know, certainly gear, you know, optimization, getting the best out of your gear, more stamina, you know, whereas at the moment you don't care, you're a mage who's just raiding, you know, you've just got intellect and spell power, you don't care about anything else. Probably going to want a little bit of stamina in TBC, because yeah, it's not going to be difficult, but it's going to be difficult enough, you know, the mobs are still going to hit hard and stuff. So yeah, getting your gear right is sort of point number one. Your spec as well, you know, you might need to, the week before release, you know, change your spec. Now this is all working on the assumption that you're going to be playing the same character as you're on now, which I truly believe that's going to be the way. Blizzard are not in the private server scene, as in the private server mindset, I should probably say, where it's all fresh start, a new server comes out, boom, let's start level 1, all fresh, you know, reset the economy and all that. They love all that. Whereas, when has Blizzard ever done anything like that? Why would they change the way they handle expansions when they'll do it the same way they've always done it? The servers go from 60 to 70. That's it. They'll keep Classic in the background. So if you want, you know, to move your character and keep on a 60 only realm, they'll have a handful of 60 only realms, but I can't see them doing it any other way. Personally, you know, I'm sat here waiting to be proved wrong, but that's just my opinion. And professions, as I say, just getting your professions ready. You know, working out what you want, having a look in advance, you know, what do the professions give? I'm going to be doing a profession series of videos quite soon, actually. So maybe it's worth holding out for that, because that's going to highlight all the, you know, top items that you get from each profession. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about what class the profession's right for. So, you know, would you have tailoring as a warrior? Probably not. Seems obvious, but some of them are not quite that obvious. So, but we'll get into that in later videos. So, I'd say you probably took nothing away from this video, nothing overly useful, but it's just to spark off a bit of, you know, imagination. Start thinking about the things that are going to be important now. You know, what are you going to stockpile as well? Are you going to get loads of consumables? Are you going to be running around like with flasks the whole way from 60 to 70? Why wouldn't you? I will be, absolutely, because anything that's going to make it quicker, I welcome. You know, and then leveling path. How are you going to level in TBC? You know, have you got it planned? Are you just going to wing it, or, you know, are you going to have a plan like go to Hellfire, get the initial quest done, you know, get to 61 as fast as possible, and then just zone jump from zone to zone? Or are you going to stay and finish all the zone? Is there certain quest lines that you want to complete? You know, these are all things that I'm going to be mapping out, and I will share with you, you know, sort of my plans, because it's not, I'm not going for like any. If I'm server first 70, that'd be great, but I'm not going for it. You know, I won't be sleeping till I'm 70, or I'll be trying not to sleep till I'm 70, but realistically it's going to take a good 4 days or so, so probably have to sleep. But yeah, as I say, I hope this sparked off a few thoughts, and let me know in the comments if there's anything that you think is going to be important that you should start mapping out now before TBC comes out. As I say, if you liked, like, subscribe, check out the giveaway. Peace.